And now, to discuss more about the CAG report, we are joined in the studio with Joseph Sheffu, who is an economic analyst, but also the CEO of Ernst & Young Tanzania. Joseph, welcome to TBC.
Thank you, Faidha.
So, when the CAG report says the national debt is bearable, what does it mean?
Okay, so the CAG Secretary has clearly mentioned that the public debt is sustainable, so based on the standards. So you mentioned overall public debt stands at about 41.1%, and this is compared to the benchmark of 55%. So that is still bearable. When you look at the sustainability of public debts, is looking at firstly in terms of ability to settle the debts, given the potential of revenue in the future in the country. But what's most important also to understand that all countries have to, in terms of funding the public spending, they have to incur debts. So if you compare to our neighbors, Kenya public debt is at 70%. So they are well above 55%, which is benchmark put by the World Bank for Sub-Saharan Africa. Rwanda is also about 70%. But also if you go further apart, like in the UK and the US, they're about 100% in terms of public debts. So for Tanzania, I think it's still sustainable by the benchmark. What's important is what do we utilize those public debts for? So as much as the debt is increasing, but also the assets are increasing, and there is improvement in public services, like the new major infrastructure that have actually come into place. Yes, it's 18% increase year on year. It's pretty significant increase by 18%. But again, the assets we have, the country in terms of the major infrastructures, they actually needed the funds. But of course, the other side is that the improving in terms of domestic tax to reach 15% of GDP is important, because that's an area where we are falling behind. And you probably heard about the low collections in the local authority areas. I think that's the area that we'll need to focus more.
Also, the report mentions about some corporations, public corporations that are operating at a loss. What could possibly be the problem?
Yeah, so, well, we have flagship public corporations, the likes of TTCL. So this TTCL, these are telecom companies that we have to harness in terms of improving. First of all, capital is very important. We need to capitalize, because the telecom is actually advanced very fast, and we have to get new equipments and a new system, but also improve management and accountability. We need to, I mean, Treasury Registrar is doing a lot of commendable work in transforming the public institutions. So we need to look at governance, management capacity, but capital is very important. Capital and modernizing these institutions. But some of the institutions, we may need to reassess their needs. Most recently, the government actually combined some of those institutions, that which helped. But we still need to go phase 2 now to look at, we need to change the culture of those organizations. They have to think more like commercial oriented organization, because these are government business entities. They're supposed to operate not as a government, but as a private institutions. But also we need to strengthen Treasury Registrar role, so that he has more power to be able to monitor these organizations. I think there was a bill being discussed in terms of how do we enhance and transform the Treasury Registrar Office to become public investment corporations. And that model is a very important model to be able to support these public institutions to move forward.
What are your general observations when you heard this report today? What were your general observations?
So I think what the CAG made pretty clear is that there has been tremendous improvements in public finance and accountability. So we have seen 99.5% of the all the government institutions, which is MDAs, they've that's the pass rate, call it the pass rate, in terms of getting Hati Safi, which is a clean opinion. So if you look compared to last year, you will see last year we were about 99% overall across local government, central government, but also public institutions. But this year there has been an improvement to about 99.5% overall. And therefore, less institutions have got hatichafu, which is a bad report. So, and also in terms of the performance audit, there has been a tremendous improvement as per the CAG. But again, the nitty-gritty is in the report. This report has been read in summary, and the pudding actually is certainly in the cake. We'll have to see the reports when it comes to the public to analyze it.